Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. We love growing onions and they've become a major part of the food that we produce out of our food plot. But you gotta know a few things to really take your gardening game to the next level. Stay tuned and I'll show you a few insider tips. Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. We love growing onions in our food plot. They're one of the most productive crops we put out, and it is a wonderful experience to grow and to taste those onions themselves. And as you can see here, we had a productive crop last year. So much so that we were able to store about 50% of them and give away. We became very popular with a lot of our friends and neighbors. These are great eating, and I want to give credit where credit is due. We buy all of our seed starts from Dixondalefarms.com, and at their website, they have several great resources that you can go to and learn about growing onions. But I'm going to give you some of the high tops, so to speak, of some of the best material that I've gleaned from those materials that took our gardening game and onion growing experience to the next level. Well, the first thing you may not know about onions is there is a direct correspondence between the leaf spike on the top and the structure of the onion below. So for each leaf there is on an onion, when it's actively growing, is a ring on the onion below. So the more spikes you have on the top, and the larger the spike is, the larger the bulk of the onion is going to be. Now, we are actually looking at an onion from last year. And you may ask, well, why do onions sprout like this? Well, that's because onions are actual biennials. What? A biennial? Well, you've heard of a perennial, a plant that grows ongoing. You've heard of an annual, one that completes its life cycle completely in a single season. It goes from seed to seedling to plant. It fruits in some way and is used, and then it dies when the cold comes on. Well, in the case of an onion, a biennial, it takes 2 years. So the first year it's growing, it bulks up the bulb, then it goes dormant over the winter, and then when the spring comes back again, the clock turns on again, and what it's doing is getting ready to shoot up seed stalks to complete its life cycle of seeding or multiplying and then dying. Well, we as humans, we harvest the onion at its first year. It is not completed, but we're taking all of the food stores the onion is creating in the form of these tissues, the rings, all the carbohydrate, all the yumminess, and we harvest it before the onion can use it to make seed or to go to the second year. So that's the second thing you may not have known. Now, before we continue, I'd just like to ask you a quick favor. If you find this video to be helpful with what we've told you so far and what we're going to tell you in a few minutes, won't you like the video? And better yet, won't you subscribe to our channel? And when you do, be sure to ring the bell because you'll be notified approximately every Friday of the newest episode about the home, the garden, in the shop, Mag's kitchen, just great homeowner skills where you can just do it yourself. All right, the next thing you gotta know about onions to be really good at this is to know that there are 3 basic types. There are short day, intermediate day, and long day onions. Now, I'm using a resource that I actually downloaded from Dixondalefarms.com, and we'll give you that link in the description below, but it's pretty self-explanatory. But this just tells about day length, and the owner of that business there, Bruce, has put up a great video just walking you through what the differences are. But let me give you the top lines on it. So short day onions are generally grown in the southern part of the United States or lower latitudes. And the reason they're called short day is they start to bulb. That is, it doesn't matter how old the onion is or how onion plant is or how tall it is. The day length is what triggers it from to stop producing leaves and to start to create a bulb. So if you planted them too late or you've used the wrong day length onion, you're going to end up with a real small onion or whatever it might be that's not going to be to your benefit. So you got to have the right day length. So short day onions reach about, they start bulbing when the daylight hits about 10 to 12 hours. They mature in 110 days when they're planted in the winter, the late winter or very early spring. And they need that time to get leaf length, but once those day lengths start hitting, then it's going to stop growing top and you've got the size of onion of whatever it is. So short day onions are used more in the south. In the central United States, in the latitudes, and we'll publish those latitude lines as well for our international friends, intermediate day onions, they reach the bulbing or start the bulbing process when daylight reaches 12 to 14 hours versus 10 to 12 for short day. Intermediate, 12 to 14. They'll produce really nice sized fruits unless you live far south, like way south in Texas or Florida, something like that. Same thing, 110 days to proper bulbing size. A great characteristic of intermediate day length onions is they are exceptionally sweet. Lots of sugar in the bulb, and they taste wonderfully. They don't store as well, but they actually contain more sugar than a lot of apples do. Don't believe me? Well, what do you think is turning brown when you fry onions and they caramelize? It's the sugar in the onion. That leads us to the last one, and that is the long day onion. And those start bulbing when 14 to 16 hours. First one, short day was 10 to 12, intermediate's 12 to 14, long day is 14 to 16. They do exceptionally well in more northern climates. Here in the Mountain West, in the northern Utah area, we actually use either intermediate or long day onions. And as you can see, we've already planted our onion beds this year. We've planted Walla Walla, Superstar, and Candy, and they're already starting to grow, and we're getting ready to do the first weeding. We're looking forward to a great crop this year. Well, you need to know about those lengths so that you get the right one planted at the right time, and the day length is matched to when it's going to start bulbing. If you want more information on that, you can simply visit dixondalefarms.com and go to their day length video, and I'll put the link down below for you. Well, if you found this video to be helpful, won't you like it? Better yet, subscribe to our channel, ring the bell, so you'll be informed right away about all sorts of great things you can just do yourself and put your hands on, your life and your home, and the things that you get to eat and the things you get to enjoy. Until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay from dirtfarmerjay.com.